fellow sailor, Anita Lucander. With a man's life at stake, the defense team builds its case and continues to reach out to the psychic.
After we had gotten Sharon involved in the case, we had called her with some frequency. We always had questions for us. Sharon, we're going to try and tape record this conversation to see if there's anything else that you can get.
I don't know if I can channel her or not, but I'll
The next conversation I had with Sharon is one that I will never forget.
Okay, give me a minute.
Yeah, she is showing me that was a friend.
They keep hoping for that one critical clue that will blow the case wide open.
He wanted to take her for a ride in his new car, yeah.
He came by the house to pick her up. I don't know what happened.
All of a sudden, Sharon's voice changed.
She began to take on the voice of a little girl.
I found myself in a dark place. I was tied up. I couldn't get away. Why did you do this?
It was not Sharon who was talking. This was another person.
Next thing I knew, I was in this shack, and I could see through the cracks, but he wasn't there. I was there for a couple of days and never could get him to explain to me why I was there.
Daylight came, he came back. He would always come back.
And she walked us through the crime in this little girl voice up to the point that we believe Anita was killed.
Now it's done.
It was an incredible experience. It just took my breath away.
We went over to jail, pulled Peter out of his cell, and white as ghost, we said, "Peter, what did Anita sound like?"
And he said you couldn't mistake her voice. She sounded just like a little girl.
And as I told them, I said, you look like you've seen a ghost.
It was like we just got a phone call from heaven.
I wanted to go home.
The defenders are shaken, but realize they've been given a crucial new clue.
I was there for a couple of days.
Now they have to prove it.
The information that Sharon furnished us indicated that Anita did not die the night she was taken.
The prosecution has based its case on the medical examiner's original claim that Anita's body had been in the water for 9 days.
I was having a little bit of problem with that, but then Sharon comes along and says, hey, she was held for a number of days before she died.
I knew that she had been held for at least 3 days.
Could this be the break they've been waiting for?
The body washed up here.
Right.
With Pete's life in the balance, they must find a way to prove that the original timeline was wrong.
We need to check out the crabbing activity in the intercoastal.
My co-counsel Ann Fennell and I are great believers in physical evidence, so we wanted to understand that first.
We have seen over the course of our homicide experience here, bodies left in the water here, and there generally is a great deal of crab damage to a body.
And there had been very little damage to Anita's body. They risk everything on an ingenious experiment. They go to the area where Anita's body was found and bait crab traps with chicken.
We wanted to understand how long it may have been in the water, what the currents were, and what sort of crab activity we'd encountered.
Two days later, they make a stunning discovery.
It's eating up pretty good.
As it turned out, they fed fairly well on those chickens, which was in marked contrast to the absolute lack of marine life damage to the body.
Their experiment has confirmed the psychic's vision of Anita's murder.
Anita had been alive for at least 3 days.
She clearly had not been in the water for the 9 days that they speculated, and that made it inconsistent with the claimed confession they got.
The defense team can only hope that they have what it takes to break the prosecution's case. Can the psychic help sway a deadlocked jury? When we return.